The stars over Earth had never looked so calm. From orbit, the blue planet shined like a jewel in the dark ocean of space. But behind that calm beauty, the leaders of Earth were gathered in silence, watching a transmission that came from far beyond their system. The Galactic Union, the oldest power in the known galaxy, had finally spoken. A towering alien with silver skin and golden eyes appeared as a hologram in the United Nations orbital hall. His voice was calm but cold. "People of Earth," the alien said, "you stand on the border of our space. You have expanded too quickly. You have mined worlds without permission. You have ignored our treaties. The Galactic Union demands that Earth kneel and surrender its resources to the Council. Refusal means isolation and destruction." The hall fell silent. Even the lights seemed dimmer. For a moment, no one breathed. Humanity had made contact with many alien species over the last century. Some were peaceful, others arrogant, but none had ever threatened Earth this openly. President Lara Chen turned toward Admiral Elena Miles, head of the Terran Defense Network. "Admiral," she said softly, "what do you suggest?" Admiral Miles stood tall. She was a woman of iron will, with silver hair tied tightly and a gaze that could cut through steel. "Madam President," she said, "we do not kneel, not now." "Not ever," the council members murmured nervously. "The Union fleet numbers in the thousands," one scientist said. "We can't face that kind of power." But Miles only smiled slightly. "You think we are unprepared? The galaxy has forgotten who we are. Let them remember." The calm before the storm. For decades, Earth had hidden its true strength. While the Galactic Union believed humans were still learning to walk among the stars, the truth was very different. Humanity had been building something in secret, deep beyond Neptune's orbit. It was called Project Umbra, known only to a few as the Black Armada. The project began 70 years ago, after the first alien attack on a human colony. Humanity realized then that peace could not survive without strength. Quietly, they built a hidden shipyard inside the dark storms of Neptune, far from any alien sensor. There, thousands of engineers and scientists worked for generations. They used materials never seen before, harvested from black matter veins near the edge of the solar system. The result was a fleet unlike any other, ships that could vanish from sensors, travel silently through hyperspace, and carry energy beyond the Union's understanding. They were built not for conquest but for defense, to protect Earth from the day the galaxy forgot its manners. That day had come. The ultimatum reaches Earth. When the Galactic Union's second message arrived, it was worse than the first. 1,000,000 holographic screens across the system displayed the same warning. Earth has 72 hours to comply. Kneel or be erased. News spread like fire. Panic touched some corners of the world, but most humans reacted differently. On Mars, miners raised the Terran flag. On Ceres, engineers volunteered to work overtime for the fleet. On Luna, families gathered under domes, watching the stars and whispering, "They don't know who we are." Admiral Miles stood in the command center on Europa, where the frozen moon's icy crust hid the headquarters of the Terran fleet. She faced her officers. "Transmit this message to the entire galaxy," she ordered. Her voice echoed across every frequency, translated into 100 alien languages. "To the Galactic Union, Earth kneels to no one. We are a free people. You may come, but you will not like what you find." For a brief moment, the galaxy went quiet. Then, deep in the void, fleets began to move. The Union moves, and the Galactic Union's supreme executor, Lord Varkon, was confident. His species, the Vishai, had conquered half the Orion Arm. Their fleets were enormous and proud. He smiled as he watched the blue planet appear on the screen. "Primitive world," he muttered. "They think courage will save them." His second-in-command, a tall reptilian creature named Zerak, nodded. "We will arrive in 3 standard days. Shall we prepare for orbital bombardment?" Varkon waved a hand lazily. "No need. Once they see our fleet, they will surrender." He didn't know that humanity had been watching them since they entered the solar system. Every movement, every communication was already being tracked by Earth's hidden sensors. The Black Armada awakens far beyond Neptune. In the cold black sea of space, something stirred. Rows upon rows of massive dark ships rested in silence, their hulls absorbing all light. The largest of them, the TNS Vindicator, was the flagship of Admiral Miles. In its command deck, the lights glowed faint blue as thousands of officers stood at their posts. Holographic screens showed the incoming enemy fleet, 1,000 Union ships approaching fast. "Signal the Armada," Miles said calmly. "Activate systems." Across the void, the ships began to awaken. Engines flared silently. Energy surged through reactors older than most nations. The Black Armada had slept for half a century. Now it was awake. To the naked eye, they were invisible. Only the faint shimmer of distorted stars gave away their presence. Lieutenant Mara Voss whispered as she stared at the readings. "Admiral, they have no idea we're here." Miles smiled slightly. "Good, let's keep it that way. For now." The Union's arrival, the Union fleet entered the system near Neptune. Their sensors scanned the dark void, finding nothing unusual. "Scans complete," Shirak reported. "No major defenses detected. Their technology is still primitive." Varkon leaned forward in his command throne. "Excellent. Send the message." A golden holographic transmission appeared over every Terran channel. "Earth, this is your final chance. Submit or be destroyed." But this time Earth did not answer. The signal vanished into silence. Then, one by one, Union ships began to detect strange anomalies, shadows moving across their radar. "Commander," an officer said nervously, "there's something out there." "The stars are moving?" Before Varkon could respond, a voice filled every open frequency. It was calm, clear, and unmistakably human. "You came to make Earth kneel," Admiral Miles said. "But you have entered our home, and we protect our home." The reveal, the stars themselves seemed to flicker. Suddenly, hundreds of black shapes appeared around the Union fleet. Their outlines shimmered against the light of Neptune. The Black Armada had decloaked, surrounding the invaders completely. Gasps echoed through the alien ships. Their scanners couldn't lock on. Their targeting systems failed. "What are those ships?" Shirak shouted. "They're not in any database." Varkon stared in disbelief. "Impossible. Their energy readings are off the scale." In the silence that followed, the human fleet transmitted one message. "Leave now. You are trespassing on Terran space." The Union fleet froze. The silence stretched longer than anyone expected. Even the alien officers felt it, the strange weight of human determination. Finally, Lord Varkon spoke, though his voice trembled slightly. "All ships, hold position. Do not attack." The standoff for hours, both fleets faced each other in silence near Neptune. The humans waited, calm and unshaken. The aliens hesitated, their confidence slowly fading. Reports came in. Some of their smaller scout ships had vanished without a trace. Others reported seeing dark shapes moving faster than light itself. The Union had never faced anything like it. Admiral Miles watched from her command deck. "Admiral," her aide said, "shall we engage?" Miles shook her head. "No, not yet. They need to understand what they're facing. Sometimes fear is more powerful than fire." The retreat after 12 tense hours, the Union fleet began to back away. Lord Varkon gave the order himself. "We will return to Council space," he said, his voice stiff with humiliation. "This planet is not worth our losses." As the alien ships disappeared into hyperspace, the Black Armada remained still, like dark statues of silent guardians. Miles stood quietly watching them leave. Her crew cheered softly, but she didn't smile. "Admiral?" her aide asked. "We've won, haven't we?" She looked at the blue glow of Earth on the screen. "No," she said quietly. "This was only the first move. The galaxy won't forget this. They'll come back stronger. We must be ready." Epilogue of Part 1A's. The last alien ship vanished from sensors. The Black Armada cloaked again, disappearing into the void. Across the solar system, humans celebrated quietly. The colonies cheered. Children pointed at the night sky and whispered stories of the dark fleet that scared the galaxy. But in secret, deep under Europa's ice, the Terran High Command met again. On the table before them lay a single message intercepted from Union space. It read, "Mobilize all sectors. Humanity has declared itself a threat." Admiral Miles read it silently and then said, "Let them come. The Black Armada is ready." Outside the window, Jupiter's storms raged like fire, lighting the dark. The silence after the retreat of the Galactic Union fleet did not last long. For a few short months, the solar system lived in peace. Humanity celebrated quietly. There were stories told in schools and songs played on every colony. Songs about how Earth stood against the galaxy and did not bow. But Admiral Elena Miles knew peace was only an illusion. She sat alone in her command chamber aboard the TNS Vindicator, the flagship of the Black Armada, watching the stars beyond Neptune. Every system report told the same story. Union fleets were gathering. And this time, they were not coming to demand surrender. They were coming for war. A gathering storm, the Galactic Union's pride had been shattered. News spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Entire species could not believe what had happened. A small world on the edge of the spiral arm had faced the Union's might and forced them to retreat without firing a single shot. To the Council's leaders, that humiliation was unbearable. In their grand hall, under a dome of starlight, the Supreme Executor Lord Varkon stood before the Union Assembly. "We gave them a chance to kneel," he said, his voice echoing. "Instead, they mocked us. Earth must be brought to order. If we allow this defiance, the galaxy will fall into chaos." The Union voted almost instantly. Every fleet, every ally, every warship was called to join the final expedition, a force meant to erase humanity from the stars. The number of ships was beyond counting, 10,000 strong. The greatest armada in galactic history was being formed. Earth prepares, on Earth and across the colonies. The news spread quickly. The humans did not panic. Instead, they worked, faster, harder, and together. On Mars, factories glowed day and night, building new starships. On the Moon, technicians polished sensor arrays that could detect ships across light years. On Europa, inside the frozen tunnels of the Terran Command, scientists perfected new defense systems. Every nation, every colony, every human hand had a role to play. Humanity stood as one. Admiral Miles watched all of it from her command post. Her eyes were calm, but her heart was heavy. She knew the next battle would not be about pride. It would decide whether Earth survived at all. Her second-in-command, Commander Rafi, walked beside her. "Admiral," he said, "our scouts confirm the Union fleet is on its way. Estimated arrival, 7 days." Miles nodded. "How many ships?" Rafi hesitated. 10,000. For a moment, the control room went silent. Then Miles said quietly, "Then we will show them 10,000 reasons why humanity stands." The hidden power, what the Galactic Union still did not know, was that the Black Armada was only one part of Earth's secret. For decades, humanity had been developing another project, Project Aegis, a planetary defense grid that connected every colony and every fleet through quantum communication. When activated, the system could unite every ship and weapon in the solar system as one mind, one force. Only Admiral Miles and a few top commanders knew of its existence. It was humanity's final shield. In a private meeting with President Lara Chen, Miles explained the plan. "Once they cross Neptune's orbit," she said, "we activate Aegis. It will give us control of the entire solar network. If we fail, Earth will be left unprotected. But if we succeed," President Chen finished the sentence for her, "then the galaxy will finally learn what Earth is capable of." The second invasion on the 7th day, the stars themselves seemed to move. The Union Armada entered the solar system in waves, massive ships stretching from horizon to horizon. Their engines glowed like suns. In the command deck of the Vindicator, Miles watched the radar fill with red dots. The number kept rising. "Fleet count, 9,800 and still increasing," reported Lieutenant Voss. Rafi frowned. "They brought everything they had." Miles took a deep breath. "Then so will we." She raised her hand. "Signal the Black Armada. Formation Echo. Activate cloaks. Prepare for the Aegis link." Across the void, hundreds of human ships powered up silently. Invisible to the enemy, they moved like shadows through space. First contact, the Union fleet, stopped near Neptune's orbit, the same place where they had once faced the humans months ago. Lord Varkon appeared on every Terran frequency again. "This is your final message," he said coldly. "Earth will kneel, or be erased. You have 1 hour to surrender." Admiral Miles stood before the communication screen. Her expression was calm. "Executor Varkon," she said softly. "Last time you came here, you left in silence. You should have stayed that way." She ended the transmission. "Admiral," Raffi said, "Aegis is ready." "Good," Miles said. "Begin link-up." The light in the dark far below on Earth, huge arrays powered up in secret bases. On Mars, massive reactors came online. On the Moon, the Aegis core activated. Streams of blue light traveled across space, connecting ship to ship, planet to planet. Within minutes, humanity became one single network. Thousands of ships, millions of minds connected in perfect harmony. Every soldier, pilot, and commander felt it. The unity, the calm strength, the shared purpose. Admiral Miles felt the surge too. She could sense every ship, every heartbeat. For the first time in history, humanity stood not as separate nations, but as one species. The clash of wills, the Union ships advanced, confident and proud. But their sensors began to fail again. Whole squadrons vanished from their radar. Confusion spread through their ranks. "What's happening?" shouted one alien commander. "Where did the humans go?" Suddenly, hundreds of blue lights appeared across the dark. The Black Armada decloaked, surrounding the Union once more. But this time, they were not alone. From Mars, Luna, Ceres, and Titan, hundreds more ships joined them. Civilian transports, mining vessels, refitted freighters, all connected to the Aegis network. It was not just the Black Armada now. It was the entire human race, standing together. Admiral Miles's voice echoed across all frequencies. "We do not seek war, but we will defend our home. Leave now, and live in peace. Stay, and you will learn why humanity endures." The aliens hesitated. They could feel something in her tone, steady, unbroken, utterly sure. The turning point, then something unexpected happened. Inside the Union fleet, panic began to spread. Their ships started to lose communication. Systems went dark one by one. "Interference detected," shouted Zerak. "Their energy field, it's disrupting our entire network." Varkon slammed his hand against his command console. "Impossible. No civilization has such technology." But it was true. The Aegis network had linked the gravity fields of the planets themselves, creating a shield that bent energy and distorted sensors. The Union fleet found itself lost in the Mu, dark, blind and disoriented, while the Black Armada moved silently around them. And yet Admiral Miles did not give the order to attack. She opened a final channel to the Union flagship. "Executor Varkon," she said quietly, "we could end this right now, but humanity does not destroy without reason. We only defend. Take your fleet and go home. Tell your council what you saw today. Tell them we will not kneel, but we will not conquer." The alien commander stared at her face through the holographic screen. For the first time, he saw something that shocked him. Not anger, not arrogance, but mercy. He had expected monsters. He had found protectors. The withdrawal. Slowly, the Union fleet began to pull back. Varkon gave the command himself, his voice low and shaken. "All ships, retreat. We cannot face this." As the alien armada withdrew, beyond the solar border, every human ship remained silent, holding position. No cheers, no taunts, only calm pride. In the command deck of the Vindicator, Admiral Miles closed her eyes. Raffi turned to her. "They're gone, Admiral. We did it." She opened her eyes and smiled faintly. "No, Commander. We did it." A new dawn. Days later, the solar system returned to peace. The Aegis network was powered down, and the Black Armada went back into the shadows. But something had changed forever. Across the galaxy, stories spread of the humans, the species that refused to kneel. Traders whispered about invisible ships and glowing blue light. Some called it myth, others truth. But everyone agreed on one thing: humanity was not to be underestimated. In the Galactic Council, debates began. Some leaders wanted peace, Others wanted revenge, but the fear of the Black Armada kept their fleets grounded, and far from the Council's reach, small civilizations began to send secret messages toward Earth, messages of respect and friendship. Epilogue. The Watchers. Months later, Admiral Miles stood again on the observation deck of her flagship. Neptune's blue storms raged quietly below, reflecting on the hull of the Vindicator. Commander Raffi joined her. "You think they'll come again?" he asked. Miles nodded slowly. "One day, yes. Power never likes to be challenged." "Then we'll be ready," Raffi said. Miles smiled. "We already are. Humanity doesn't fight because it hates. It fights because it protects." She turned toward the stars. In the distance, faint lights flickered. New colonies, new hopes. "One day," she whispered, "the galaxy will understand. We never wanted to rule the stars. We only wanted to stand among them." The Black Armada drifted silently beyond Neptune, its ships cloaked and waiting, guardians of a world that refused to bow. And so, the legend of Earth grew, not as conquerors, not as tyrants,